What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a very exciting video where we will talk about Philippe Coutinho and the potential of Liverpool signing him back. Do you want him back, guys? Let me know in the comments below. He's available for a cut price deal and Barcelona could want between 60 and 75 million pounds for him, which I think is if it's a lower, closer to the 60 million pounds deal, I think Liverpool should go for him. And in this video I will tell you guys a very detailed, very extended interview that Philippe Coutinho gave just recently to Sports Illustrated, and in that interview he talks exclusively about Liverpool FC and how he feels about the fact that Liverpool won the Champions League since he left the club. And guys, if you enjoy these transfer news videos, please leave a like, it really helps me out, and subscribe, turn on the bell notifications so you will stay up to date with the latest Liverpool news. And I will tell you guys a lot of Liverpool news today, not just this Coutinho stuff. But first, let's start with the most important part of the Coutinho interview, and that is that Coutinho spoke about Liverpool, and this is how he feels, this is what he said about Liverpool. And I quote, "Liverpool is flying and it doesn't surprise me. We have seen it already last year when Liverpool won the Champions League, and I'm also not surprised because of their fantastic squad and manager." And this is where it gets very interesting. Coutinho said this: "I am so happy for them because I have so many friends there, former teammates, so I'm just so happy for them. But that's all. I don't look back. I took another path and now I am on another journey. Much like everyone else, I'm focused entirely, just like them, on reaching my dreams. I'm happy with what I did in the past and now I can only look forward." So it looks like Coutinho closed that chapter in his heart where he left Liverpool and he doesn't like to live with regrets. But I'm sure, even though he doesn't publicly say it, I'm sure that a part of him regrets moving to Barcelona. But of course, you would if he stayed at Liverpool, he would have always wondered what would have happened if Barcelona came calling and he didn't accept it. What would have happened if he went to Barcelona? So I think that Coutinho needed to make that decision because it was his boyhood dream to play for Barcelona, who are possibly alongside Real Madrid one of the most attractive clubs in Brazil, where Coutinho is from. I'm sure that Coutinho grew up idolizing players like Ronaldinho, and I think that if Coutinho didn't make that move, he always would have a different kind of regret, and nobody saw it coming that Coutinho would fail so spectacularly in Barcelona. And I think that Coutinho could really resurrect his career at Liverpool, because at Bayern Munich he hasn't lived up to the hype either, and Barcelona fans don't want him back. Barcelona, the board, doesn't want him back because Coutinho basically failed at Barcelona, and I feel sorry for him, but that's not the reason why I want Liverpool to sign him back. The reason is that I think he felt at home at Liverpool, and that's where he was a world-class player, probably the best player that Liverpool had at the time. No wonder that Liverpool fans called him the magician, the Brazilian magician, because he was a magician on the pitch. If you watch compilations of Coutinho on YouTube, you can see that he scored all kinds of spectacular goals and he can unlock all kinds of defenses. And I think with Wijnaldum getting closer to 30 years old, with Lallana leaving, with potentially Shaqiri leaving as well, there would be room for Coutinho in Liverpool's midfield. But I also want Liverpool to give Curtis Jones playing time, so I'm a little bit torn on what I would do if I was a Liverpool manager. But if the price is right, which is like 50-60 million, I would sign Coutinho, because even though he's 28 years old, he can still deliver for the next 3 or 4 years in his career. And yes, he won't have a resale value, but imagine if Coutinho comes back to Liverpool and wins the Premier League with Liverpool. That would be just a dream fulfilled for Coutinho and for many, many Liverpool fans as well. And Coutinho remains a true playmaker, someone who loves to create and who loves to score goals. Bayern Munich's manager Flick has a very physical, very aggressive system, and the number 10 role is less about the individual, it's shared. And unlike his role with Brazil, where he has become instrumental. This doesn't always suit Bayern Munich's needs, but Coutinho isn't worried. He's confident of his skill set and what he can offer to Bayern Munich or to any team. And especially as Bayern's schedule intensifies with the return of the Champions League, Coutinho could earn back his starting low. He started 12 of the 21 or 20 Bundesliga games that Bayern Munich played, so that's not really the bad return. And instead of talking about his role, Coutinho was more interested in appreciating just how much Bayern's new manager Flick has done since taking over. He's working so hard, Coutinho said about his manager, and thanks to him the team is playing well, and that's what's most important. It can't be easy to manage a team like Bayern Munich, and I think he came in and he has been doing a great job. And Coutinho has a tattoo on his arm saying, "Never stop dreaming," and he probably had it done during his time with Liverpool, or no, it's a fact actually. The article says that Coutinho had that done during his time with Liverpool, and this is what he said about that. "I believe you should never stop dreaming, and you have to work hard to make the dreams come true. I see it as a stairway really, to play good football, then play for a good team, and then achieve the level where you are invited to play for the Selekau and then have a good World Cup." And this is what Coutinho said about his current time at Bayern Munich. "In the last few months I've realized more that the Bundesliga is a very balanced league. Everyone wants to win. It's hard to win here. It's similar to the Premier League in the sense that it's intense and it's physical. There is no time to think. It's fast, hard on the pitch, much like in England. But it's also technically good with an intense desire to play the game. There's a great thing going on right now with young players playing in great leagues, and they are in the limelight." He's also talking about the Brazilian talent coming through. Brazilian talent is growing. It's dynamic. That's what Coutinho said, and he continued, this is good for the squad because this is a very important year for Brazil. There are many players with experience, but also a tremendous number of young players that can contribute, and this gives us all a lot of confidence as we head into qualifiers and then another Copa America. And of course, Coutinho looks to restore his own confidence at Bayern Munich, where he has a Bundesliga title to defend, and of course Bayern will play Chelsea in the Champions League. That is a very interesting tie, and when he was asked what he thinks Bayern Munich's ambitions are in the Champions League, this is what he said. "Of course, we believe we can win it all. We work so hard for it. Just like you work for success at what you do, we equally work so hard. These are the best teams in the world after all, and the Champions League is very hard, but if you work hard, then anything can happen." And of course, the article mentions as well that it's impossible to talk about Coutinho without addressing his tenure with the current Champions League holders, my favorite Liverpool FC, because Coutinho scored 54 goals in 201 matches and became the highest scoring Brazilian in the league with 41 goals until Roberto Firmino surpassed him by scoring, I think, 2 goals against Arsenal in the 5-1 victory. So Firmino has already surpassed him by quite a few goals. And Coutinho, of course, was nicknamed the magician at Liverpool because he was just an absolutely brilliant player with a lot of flair, great dribbling. He could beat a man one-on-one, and he could score some spectacular free kicks and long-range goals. Probably that's the thing that most Liverpool fans miss about Coutinho the most, is that those long-range strikes into the top corner and those magnificent free kicks. We don't have a great long shot taker at Liverpool, and we also probably don't have a brilliant free kick specialist like Coutinho was. So what do you think about Coutinho returning to Liverpool? As I said, I would only entertain that idea if I was a Liverpool manager, if it wasn't more than like 60-65 million, but I think Coutinho can improve Liverpool. He can be a very valuable asset, and what Jurgen Klopp must do, and he probably is already doing it, is just put behind the personal misunderstandings, the personal maybe bad vibes, bad feelings that Klopp and some Liverpool fans have about Coutinho, and just think about it rationally. And I think Jurgen Klopp is already doing that. He's that kind of manager. He's an emotional guy, but he's very serious and very rational when it comes to making football decisions and transfer decisions. But Coutinho at 28 for like 60 million. I'm not sure if that fits into the Liverpool transfer policy, because we could get Timo Werner for like 54 million. That's his reported release clause, and that's a much bigger value for money transfer, much better, I mean, value for money transfer. And also, as I said, Coutinho is 28. He has a good like 3-4 years in him. Timo Werner has a good 8 years in him, at least, or maybe even more. So I think Liverpool have to think long and hard about this. But whatever Jurgen Klopp decides, I will be behind it. That's my opinion. And also, very interesting news, Liverpool donated £35,000 to Shrewsbury after the FA Cup replay, because, you know, the FA decided not to broadcast the game live for a TV audience. Shrewsbury missed out on a big chunk of revenue, and Liverpool, I think it's a decent amount of money, not in terms of the Premier League, but in terms of League One, where Shrewsbury are. I mean, they made a net profit of £350,000 last year, so this money is a quite significant money to a club the size of Shrewsbury. So I think that Liverpool shouldn't have any like criticism pointed at them, because it wasn't Liverpool who decided not to televise the game, it was the FA. And I also love to talk about this. I know that Liverpool manager, the players, the staff doesn't want to even think about this stuff, but I love to talk about it. What kind of records could Liverpool break? The first record is the longest consecutive run of wins, which is standing at 18 wins in a row, achieved by Manchester City 2 seasons ago. Liverpool could break it as soon as February 29th against Watford, because we have some very favourable run of fixtures. We have Norwich away, West Ham at home and Watford away. We just need to beat those 3 teams, all either in the relegation zone or close to the relegation zone, and then Liverpool will already break a great record set by Guardiola. I mean, 18 wins in a row. I never thought that Liverpool or any other team could even come close to that, because the Premier League is so competitive. But now Liverpool are standing on 16 wins in a row. Incredible achievement, and I would love it if Liverpool beat the record so soon after Pep Guardiola set the record. Another record that Liverpool could break, and this would be a lot more difficult. Longest unbeaten run, which is standing at 49 unbeaten games, achieved by, of course, the Invincibles of Arsenal, and next season they kept the run going for a while before Manchester United beat them 2-0 in that famous game. Liverpool need to stay unbeaten for like 7 more games or 8 more games to beat the record, and those games are Norwich away, Watford away, Everton away, Man City away, West Ham at home, Bournemouth at home, Crystal Palace at home and Aston Villa at home. So it's going to be a very tricky schedule, especially the Everton and Man City games. But all games are difficult in the Premier League, you guys know that. So I think that this will be a very hard record to break. But Liverpool are capable of doing it. I mean, we didn't go 42 games unbeaten for no reason. Most wins achieved by Man City both last season and 2 seasons ago, 32 wins. Liverpool just need 8 more wins to break this, and considering that Liverpool have 13 more games to go, we can still drop points in 5 games, win the rest, and we can still beat this record. So I'm pretty optimistic about that. But I think another record which will be probably a little bit easier to break, most points, 100 points achieved by Manchester City, and also the top 3 most points in a single Premier League season was achieved in the past 2 seasons. 100 points by Man City, 98 points by Man City last season, and Liverpool 97 points last season as well. And I think that there is a very, very good chance, almost 100% chance, Liverpool will get into the top 3. And if we beat the points total of 100 points, I mean, wow, that would be just unexplainably amazing, honestly. Like, if this was on FIFA career mode, you would think that the player is playing on a low difficulty, but this is real life. This is the hardest league in the world, the Premier League. And Liverpool are just incredible this season. This winning machine, I never thought in the 20 years of supporting Liverpool that I would ever witness anything like this ever again. And I think I will savor this season for the special season that it is, because we will probably never see a season like this ever again. So drink it in, savor it, enjoy every day and every moment, because it's just brilliant. I mean, I look at the league table every week and I'm just smiling year from year, because it just makes me so happy that after 30 long, painful years, that's 3 decades of hurt, could be ended by Liverpool this season by winning the Premier League title. And this is just the icing on the cake and the cherry on top. These records that Liverpool could be breaking. Most away wins in a season, that's what Liverpool could break as well. 16 set by Man City 2 seasons ago. But we need to win probably another like 4 or 5 games away from home. And considering that we have Everton and Arsenal and Man City, this will be very tough to break as well. Most home wins, 18, set by Chelsea, Manchester United, Man City twice. Very, very difficult, because Liverpool need to win all their rest of the home games to beat this record, because you need to have a 100% home record to beat this record. And we have Chelsea, the last home game, that will be the toughest one. And I think Chelsea probably would want to beat us more than anything at Anfield to spoil the party. That will be very interesting. And the biggest title winning margin, 19 points. This is another record that is pretty attainable and beatable for Liverpool, considering that Liverpool are already 22 points clear of Man City. So if we just lose the same amount of points as Man City between now and the end of the season, we break this record, which would be absolutely monumental, terrific, and I would love nothing more than to see Liverpool break as many of these records as possible. And I really, really think that Liverpool can do it. So let me know, guys, what did you think of this video? I really hope that you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Good night.